The more hits we play, the more hits we get. URLradio.net. That afternoon show. Stacy Stern.
I don't really have a lot to say.
Good.
Party on, Stace.
Party on, Cashy. It's funny because you watched Wayne's World the other night, and I quoted Wayne's World twice that same night you watched it. It was like Wayne's World was in the universe. It was in the air.
I just need to get Wayne's World 2 now.
Oh my gosh. What did it come separately or did it come with something?
No, it was Netflix.
Oh, that's right. My Netflix account.
Yes.
I can't wait to see what I watched, what I've been watching.
It's pretty much just American Horror Story and...
cheesy 80s and 90s movies?
Nope, just Wayne's World so far.
Okay, all right.
Oh, and I watched 3 Days to Kill.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be different.
Was Archer on there too, on Netflix?
Yeah.
Okay.
1 episode.
Yeah, all right. All right, 'tis that time of year when, like, we talk about witches and vampires and zombies and such.
Thanksgiving's almost up.
It is. Christmas is around the corner, everybody.
You can tell Halloween's coming up when you see, was it Hobby Lobby put Christmas ornaments out. When Hobby Lobby does their Christmas decorating, Halloween's coming.
Halloween's here. Now, this is also the time of year where I always think about converting into being a Wiccan. I get inspired. I watch those movies about witches. In fact, I was a Wiccan for like 3 weeks once when I was 19, I think.
What does Dad the Deacon think about that?
Oh, Dad the Deacon was not happy. Talking about... Because at the time when I was 19, they weren't called Wiccans. They were witches. So I was converting to be a witch for about 3 weeks. And then I realized that it's just really...
It's hokum perhaps?
A little bit. Actually, no. Okay, I believe there is something to it because basically they're natural healers. People look at these things as spells, but it's not really. Like, if you look at the Wiccan books, they're not really like I mean, they do have spells for, better schoolwork or love or selling your house or becoming rich or whatever it might be. But
how are those working?
I don't do those. Those go against my Christian beliefs. But what I do... I'm coming up with a new religion of, like, Christian Wiccan.
It's been done
Wiccan
before.
Christian?
It's been done before.
But I believe that a lot of the spells they had for, like, health, there is something to it. Because I worked in the natural health industry, and I look at that, and I think the herbs and the things that they don't use Eye of Newt and all that good stuff. I think those do have some credit to it.
Essence of
And
moonshade.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Mermaid tears.
But I do believe that, like, that does work. And I totally am into, like, nature. I love nature. And I love, I don't worship nature, but I love nature. I also believe not harming living things. I don't want to kill things. Right? I mean, that's pretty the basic. Maybe not.
I actually don't know.
All I know is I dyed my hair black and I had a crap ton of pendulums when I was 19.
I don't know much about Wicca, so...
Well, you're about to find out.
Besides they're hippies.
Are you ready? That's it. That's exactly it.
They're hippie communists.
They're basically just hippies.
Hippie commies.
I had to talk with my son the other day about... He asked me, why is communism so bad? I really couldn't come up with many reasons. Communism in and of itself, if done the way it was supposed to... Not horrible.
Oh, so what you're saying is you enjoy sharing everything?
We currently do in the United States. We are currently set up that way.
Well,
if I make a crap ton of money, I'm supposed to give it to everybody else. Tax the hell out of me because it's not fair that some people don't want to work.
Communism's bad because it strips you of your identity, your individuality. It's communal as opposed to individual.
Yes. Not much different.
Horrible. And... it just won't work because in order for communism to work, they say the state has to take control of everything and then dissolve. Well, the state never dissolves.
They just take control of everything.
The state expands.
Which, by the way, we are still in the process of doing in free America. Oh, by the way, I need to tell you how to buy your health care now. You have to have it.
Yeah.
No, it's not mandatory because that's illegal, but you still have to have it.
Or you
get taxed.
Yeah.
You get taxed. It's not a penalty.
It's not a fine.
You get taxed. Yeah.
Can't wait till my taxes next year.
Oh. See, so it's like basically, it's not much different than what we currently have going on in the United States.
Well, no, because they're still private property. You still own.
So a little bit.
America's actually more fascist than it is. It is more fascist than it is socialist or communist. Actually, we're not communist at all. Like
We're a bunch of fascist bastards.
Oh, good Lord! You say anything bad about the military, and they're gonna frickin' crucify you.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the pillars of fascism.
Okay, let's get back to being a Wiccan. Okay,
Or
so
a fascist.
Wiccans next come with 6 misconceptions of fascists, and then we'll talk about it then. But Wiccans are misunderstood. Those who consider themselves witches often adhere to Wicca, which was recognized in 1986 by a court of appeals as a legitimate religion.
Wicca, Wicca, Wicca.
Even so, several commonly held beliefs about Wiccan religion are outdated and false, says the National Wiccan and Pagan groups. I don't like the word pagan.
I love that. I love paganism.
I love paganism around Halloween, but it's not cool when it's come Christmas. It's not cool to be a pagan around Christmas.
You kidding me? Where do you think that they picked the date December 25th?
I know, you guys, Jesus was not born on December. He was born in like March.
Yeah. It was can't remember what holiday. It was a pagan holiday, though.
I know. Here are 6 misconceptions about witches and Wiccans. Okay, the first one. Witches are evil. Evil. The negative connotations of witchcraft have led its followers to stop referring to themselves as witches and go by Wiccans instead. Wicca opposes the use of negative, harmful magic and discourages people from hurting others physically or emotionally. They believe in the ethical guideline.
Discourages, though.
Discourages.
They don't ban it. They just frown.
They have a
upon it.
guideline called threefold law, which states that whatever person wishes upon somebody else returns to them 3 times over.
Is that really a law, or is it more of a guideline?
It's a guideline. I said it's a. They call it a threefold law, but
So
it's like law of attraction. Technically not a law,
it's a rule.
but it's like a rule.
Yes, James Vanderbeek.
Okay, next. Wicca is an ancient religion, although it's based on ancient beliefs, including aspects of paganism and nature-based spirituality. Wicca was founded by anthropologist Gerald Gardner in the 1950s.
Huh.
Yeah. Wicca is a new religion that combines surviving folk traditions and more modern elements. It's loosely based on Western European pagan rites and rituals that have been around for centuries, but Wicca itself has only been around since the 50s.
So what did he or she? I'm guessing it's a she.
No.
Really?
Uh-uh.
Isn't the majority of Wiccans women?
Gerald Gardner. No. Well, yeah. I would say the majority
Gerald?
are. Gerald Gardner is the one that introduced it back in the 50s.
Not Geraldine?
No.
Sure it's not a typo?
No, I'm pretty positive it's not a typo. Next, Wicca is not a real religion. That is false. Wicca is recognized by the U.S. government as an official religion, with the observation of Wiccan holidays varying from state to state. New Jersey actually gives 8 Wiccan holidays to kids and excuses them from attending school on those days.
Huh.
I think that's pretty cool. Now, do all the Wiccan kids, do they dress like the Addams Family kids?
I don't know. Don't Wiccans dress normal?
No.
Black? A lot of black?
Not
like borderline goth?
Yeah. No. More eccentric. I only know like 3 or 4 Wiccans. But they do dress a little bit eccentric. They're definitely eccentric people.
So how
You
we
can
talking?
pick 'em out of a group.
How we talking? Eccentric.
Um,
I'm guessing they're not wearing like neon green
say-
pants and then
no.
bright orange
Hypercolor shirts?
Yeah.
No. No, it's very, like you said, it's very hippie-like. Really
Oh, okay.
hippie-like. Long skirts and a lot of velvet going on there.
Velvet.
A lot of velvet going on there. with
Why
their
they can't
face.
get paisley?
If they could get paisley velvet, do you know how excited they'd be?
I might consider joining.
I know, right? Okay, next. Wiccans worship the devil. That also is false. Often confused with Satanists, followers of Wicca do not believe in the devil. They don't believe in heaven. They don't believe in hell. They don't believe in Christian beliefs at all. They worship basically nature.
Well, that's one of the misconceptions about Satanism. Like Anton LaVey was a atheist.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think he was a nihilist. Didn't believe in good, bad, God, the devil.
Yeah.
Nothing. So, well, you need to fix that list term. I don't know if I trust it anymore.
Why?
Satanists don't necessarily worship the devil. Most Satanists don't
No,
believe
it said often confused with Satanists. That's what people think. People think witches and Satanists are the same. People think Satanists worship the devil.
Well, I think that it's saying that
They're saying they get them confused. Like they get them confused with
you're reaching, Sturm. You're really
Satanists.
reaching.
I'm not reaching. Wiccans sacrifice animals. Since Wicca is a nature-based religion, followers are encouraged to respect living things. Wiccans make sacrifices and offerings to their chosen deities, but their offerings are usually bread, fruit, wine, or flowers. Yeah.
So you're trying to take
They're hippies.
nature.
They're totally hippies.
Taking nature on a date is what you're saying.
That's
You're
hot.
going to try to get in those pants.
You're going to get lucky. You and nature going to get lucky.
So
Let's see.
What do they think of the animals, like, eating each other? Like, there's one thing I never understood about, like, groups like PETA. Do they protest every time a cat tortures a mouse to death and just leaves it sit there?
Right.
They should.
You know, it's survival of the fittest. You can't stop it. It's just human nature. But I think PETA would say it's not human nature to eat a cow, but I would disagree. If you have a good cheeseburger, totally human nature to eat a cow. They really have no other purpose.
Cows are pretty useless.
They don't do anything
They're
else.
so delicious.
Seriously, I
Just
think
like-
they were just put on the earth for us to have steak.
Just like pigs.
Oh, God. Saw a picture of like a little baby piglet. It says, oh, bacon seeds. Delicious.
Is he the one of the cow, the cow and the pig together, like they're cuddling? It says best friends forever. There's a picture of a bacon cheeseburger.
God, I love that. Okay. And last, oh, by the way, Wiccans, if you're asking, like, what do they worship? Their religion is closer to Buddhism and Hinduism than anything else. So if you're wondering, sort of like, they don't worship Satan, they don't worship God, they don't, any.
They worship the devil.
They're more Buddhist. Okay, and Wiccans have a dark Bible. That also is not true. There is no Bible that they follow. Wiccans may make a book.
That's lame. Every religion should have a Bible.
I don't think they ever set out to want to be a religion. I think it just happened.
Well,
I don't think that was a goal to be a Is anybody's goal really to be a sanctioned religion?
Yeah, there was like some.
You get holidays, I guess.
There was some.
Besides that, there's very little benefit.
There were some big
Tax write-offs, I suppose.
big things in was it like '06 or something like that when Bush was trying to pass the law that says that where the government doesn't recognize Wicca as a religion. They were flipping out. Kids these days.
Why would you spend time on that, Bush?
Because he's George Bush.
He had nothing else going on.
Besides
There
that
was
and trying to
nothing.
change daylight savings time?
I don't know how I feel about daylight savings time. I'm not a fan. But I don't know what life would be like if we didn't have it. Would we be Alaska? Half of the dark, half of the day.
I think we start.
don't know.
When did they start daylight saving time? Like
Well,
1918?
you fall
We
back.
lasted just
I'm not.
fine.
I like that. I don't like the spring forward part. I'm not a fan of that.
Just keep that one out.
Yeah. Let's just keep falling back. See what happens. Okay, so they don't have a Bible, but they do have like a book of shadows for themselves. And I've actually seen the Book of Shadows. They pass it down from one teacher of faith to a student, but the Book of Shadows actually serves as a reference book. It doesn't have like commandments and laws and rules, and it's basically like a diary.
Do they have it at Barnes & Noble?
You can get it online.
Sweet.
Yeah. But it's basically a reference book. It's referred to also as Grimoire, the Mirror Book, or Magical Diary. Book of Shadows is a customized book in which Wiccan records, or they record information that he or she find useful in practicing their faith. So it's you can put some ceremonies in there, you can put some spells in there,
Oh.
you can put healing rites in there, you can put prayers, you can put... It's basically a journal. It's a fancy journal for Wiccans, is
Oh.
what it is. With guidelines, some basic guidelines.
So what you're saying is I can go to the drugstore, get myself a Mead one single subject notebook,
And
have
write
my
some
own
spells in it?
Have my own book,
Book
of shadows.
Shadows. Yeah. So there you go.
Sounds like something that a 16-year-old girl started up
It is very
who
much.
read a little bit of Harry Potter and
Yeah,
maybe Game of Thrones.
I know. I think also a misconception is that like all witches are like hot adult women. Very few are hot adult women. No.
Yep, definitely losing
They're portrayed
interest.
in movies much differently than they're portrayed in real life.
Well, that's witches, not Wiccans.
It's the same thing now.
I thought
That's
it
all I'm
wasn't.
saying. Yeah, no. There's dark.
Who practices black magic then?
Dark Wiccans. There's white Wiccans and dark Wiccans.
Dark Wiccans, so hot. I want to. Okay, gonna add a new requirement for my future stalker.
Okay.
She's got to be like in some druid cult.
I love the druids. God, I had druid stones. That was when I was 20, and I was going to become a druid. I don't remember what movie I watched, but it inspired me. I thought, I should be a druid. Looks like an interesting thing. So I honestly had druid stones. Runes. Actually, sorry, runes.
Why? American Horror Story
you
almost made me
runes.
want to convert to Catholicism.
Mm.
I wanted to be a nun.
I actually looked into the convent, too, when I was...
God.
I really struggled
Apparently.
with beliefs, Cassie. I have.
Why did you just become Methodist?
I don't know. That's not sexy enough. See, everything that I've looked into has an element of sexiness to it. You know what I mean? Like the Catholic religion, it's sort of can be dark and sort of sexy.
I would say that would be a combination of Christianity and like some mysticism in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like in Wiccans,
went to a Catholic funeral once.
Yeah.
I thought the guy was gonna pop out of the freaking casket at the end. Never seen that. All of a sudden, the priest is walking around with some incense, screaming in some language I don't understand.
Latin. You do Latin at funerals a lot. So yeah, so that's sort of like, and it's been portrayed in movies as sort of like a sexy thing, and same thing with witches and druids and Methodists.
You could become a Puritan. Come on, Salem witch trials. Those were some of the best times in American history.
If I was a witch who was a Puritan, do you know what I mean? Like if I was a Puritan they thought was a witch, that's sort of like sexy. But not the actual Puritans.
Not really. Not as you're being hung or drowned. The one dude who got crushed to death, though, by the two heavy stones, they kept piling more stones. His last words were, more weight.
I know. That's so
I want that to be me.
All right. Coming up.
Can you tighten this noose any tighter, please?
Things guys want in bed and then things girls want in bed on the way. And if there's a song you want to hear, email me, Stacy at urlradio.net. That's STACY at urlradio.net.